Hi, Sonny here again. Today I'm going to show you another really cool riff, another one of my personal favorite by White Lion from a song called Tell Me, and I'll show you how to do the intro and the main riff here. Alright, let's just stop right there. The first part, the intro, is G chord, open G, D, and you do a C, just a C bar chord. Alright, and then once you do that, you gotta use your middle. I use my middle finger because I'm holding my pick with my thumb and my index. I use my middle finger to tap on the 5th, 10th fret on the G string. Okay, so it goes like this. So, as you tap on the 10th fret, you pull it off to open G string, and you hammer on with the 5th fret of your G string. You tap it again on 10th fret, stop to 9th fret, you pull it off to 5th fret, and then you gotta pull it off the open string again. This time you gotta hammer on with your index finger on the D string on the 5th fret, D5, and then you hammer on with your ring finger on the D7th fret, and then you tap again on the 10th fret on the D string this time. Slide up to 9th fret of your D string, and you pull it off to your 5th fret of your D string. Give a little vibrato, so the whole thing goes like this. Again, she's G10 string, G10 fret. Okay. Do it again. G, open D, C. This time you go like this. So open A string, and then mute twice on the 3rd fret of the A string. Mute again on the open A string, and you slide up from the 3rd fret to 5th fret on your A string. Okay? So it goes like this. Mute the first part. And once you pick the 3rd fret, stop the 5th fret, you don't mute it. The next part, you go to your 9th fret of your A and G string. A and D string. You play those two notes on the 9th fret. Once you play those two notes, and you hammer on, while your index fingers on those two notes, you hammer on with your ring finger to your 11th fret of your A string. Okay? And then you just mute the E string, you play it. Okay, so it goes like this. Okay, so you do the same thing. What you do, you play this with your ring finger on the on the 11th fret of A string, and your index finger on the 9th fret of your G on the D string. So it goes. And you pick the last one you end on just those two notes on the 9th fret. Then slide up the same thing on the 4th fret this time on your A and D string, and you hammer on to your 6th fret of your A string. This time you use your pinky. You gotta mute the 7th fret of your E string, and you palm mute it, and you chuggle on it. Okay, so it goes like this. And then this part, the next chord, you gotta do like a with your index finger on the 6th fret of your A string, and your pinky on the 9th fret of your G string. I mean on your D string. I'm sorry. So you play this chord right here like that: 6th fret A string, 9th fret D string, and you slide your pinky up to the 9th fret of your A string, so it becomes like an E power chord. Now this part is tricky. You got to use your ring finger to palm mute on the 9th fret of your E string. So once you start, okay, on the 9th fret of your E string. So let me start from this part right here. Okay, so it goes like, so from this chord right here, you go to E power, and you mute it twice on the 9th fret of your E string, and then you gotta play that E power chord again, and then you play that chord with the 6th fret, the index finger, and your pinky on the 9th fret of your D string. Okay, do it. Try again. Alright, the next part, you gotta move your hand to goes up here to the 1st fret of your G string. And you slide up to the 2nd fret of your G string. Make sure you mute, and then you mute the string. You play the 2nd fret of your high B string. And then you put your ring finger on the 4th fret of your D string, while your index finger is still on the 2nd fret of your G and B string. So you play that. And then you play like an A chord. You mute the 2nd fret of your D, G, and B string, and you play those notes. Okay, so it goes like this. And the next part, you play like a B power chord. So you play your 2nd fret of your A string, 4th fret of your D, 4th fret of your G, and 4th fret of your B string. But you gotta use your pinky to hammer on and pull off. And you gotta pinch harmonic. That's not. And then you play the 4th fret of your D string, and then you pinch harmonic on the 5th fret again on the high B string. So it goes like this. Try again, let's do it slowly. You move it a little closer. And then you palm mute it again on the open E string. And it goes back to the beginning with. Now this time is different. The second time you play, you gotta play on the you play this part right here. Okay, let me show you how to do that. You put your index finger on the 2nd fret of your high B and E string, and you pick twice on the B string. Okay, and then you play the 4th fret of your G string with your ring finger, and while your index finger stays on the 2nd fret of your B and E string. Okay, and then you do the same again with your index finger only on the 2nd fret of your G, B, and E string, and you play those 3 notes. Okay, so far it goes like this. Okay, and the next part you got to move your finger up. You play the 1st fret of your G string on with your index finger, and you hammer on with your middle finger on the 2nd fret, and then you play the 2nd fret of the B string with your ring finger. Next part is a little tricky. You got to use your pinky, jumps up to the 4th fret of your D string, and you play the 2nd fret of your G string. As soon as you do that, you gotta pick the open A string on the open A string, and then 2nd fret of the A string, and you play this a C 2nd suspense 2 chord. What you do is a bar chord of C with your index finger covering the 3rd fret, and your ring finger on the 5th fret of your D string, and your pinky on your 5th fret of your G string. So it goes like this. Okay, so that's the beginning part of the riff. Just make sure that when you do this part right here, make sure you get a harmonic, pinch harmonic. Just work on it. What you do, you kind of have to move your finger up, your right hand up to closer to the bridge. Make sure you hold your pick very close to the edge. You just have to, I don't know if you can see it like that. Yeah, just very close to the edge, and you just pinch with your flash and the pick at the same time. Just like that, okay?